Hi everybody, this is Olivia from the Alexandrienne channel. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about drawing Dangles Demystified, specifically the chapter on letters. I wanted to go over that a little bit with you. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, I would really love it if you would subscribe. And if you have any comments, suggestions, please let me know. Thank you. Here we go. This is not going to be an image-rich video. I'm putting on actual pages from the book I'm creating and covering those with you. I wanted to make for sure that there is a really good understanding of what this chapter is about. Okay, let's get started. Of course, the best place to start would be with the letter A. So this first page on the left hand side, all along the vertical of the page, I have information, maybe instructions, tips, a variety of information for you. At the very top, I have created a letter. Directly underneath that, I put the type of letter that it is, and in this case the A is masculine, and I also put the typical font for the letter A. And in this case below that I give instructions for the entire chapter, and at the very bottom I put a tip. And what this says is throughout the chapter there will be one row on each page that has the corresponding letter and its parts already started for you. Trace over the light lines on that row, then create a few more of the same letter in the remaining space provided. Complete the remaining 2 rows, use your own creative ideas, and consider including instructions that are listed for each row. And then the tip is have fun with the letters, which is the most important part anyway. And then on the right side of that page, I have 3 rows. I did start out with 4 rows, but that doesn't really give you enough room to create wide letters and put patterns. So I put it down to 3, that way it gives you a little more space to write or draw. So on the first line, it's use feminine lines, or I'm suggesting you can do whatever you want, but I'm suggesting that you use feminine lines. And on the second line, it's masculine lines. And then on the bottom line, it's masculine and feminine. And the way I separated these out is not like I did in the first book, because in that book I include the dangles. This one I'm just focused on the letters. Dangles will have their own chapter, and then I will go over after this chapter putting the 2 together. But on this chapter, it's just about the letters. So I created a feminine A, where typically A is masculine. And if you look at the left, you can reference that. So that's how I separated it out. I tried to be helpful in showing you the different sections of a letter instead of here add stripes or here put dots, that kind of thing. So that way you'll have a good understanding of the different parts. And in this case, there's 2 vertical lines, 1 horizontal, the crossbar for the A, and then the little decorative top. That way you would get some practice on creating the different parts of the letter separately. And then on the right page, it's still about the same letter and still has the same instructions, only on some of the pages I add a few more just for fun. And I have the letter light so you can trace over it. And then after that, it's all up to you. How you want to make them, what you want to add. And each page is similar to this, only I do different types. Like the B is masculine and feminine, and then the C I did all masculine lines. Okay, so now that I've gone over the basics of this chapter, let's focus on the A for a few minutes so we can go over that in some detail. The letter A is typically a masculine letter because it's all straight lines, whether they be diagonal or vertical or horizontal. they're all straight lines. So I've made this A all feminine. So that means they all have curves somewhere, somehow. So let's go over this letter A. The left bar, I put a swirl at the end and I put stripes. The reason I put stripes is to balance a little bit some masculine in with this feminine A. That adds a little bit of balance and it also adds interest. Not to mention that stripes are just fun. Now, on the right side diagonal bar, I left that blank. So you could fill it in if you wanted to with something. And I made it wider at the bottom, narrow at the top. That way, the little decorative top that I made would look good. And to me, that's what I needed to do. However, you can do anything that you would like and just make for sure that it looks good to you. Okay, now on the horizontal bar, I put a swirl on the right side, and I did that for balance because the vertical left bar has a swirl at the end. So I put a swirl on the right side of the horizontal bar to balance out the weight. And I am not saying that you have to have balance on every letter. Matter of fact, sometimes unbalanced letters look really, really good. It all depends on why you are creating what you are creating. And in this case, with this A, I wanted it feminine. Maybe it's for the name Abigail or something. I wanted it to be light, lovely, that sort of thing. And on the horizontal bar on the far left, you'll see a circle. In the top, decorative part of the A, there's also a circle. I tend to, not always, but I tend to repeat shapes because that helps your eye travel along the letter itself. But now, having said that, it really is important to remember that unless you're just doing a letter as a monogram or something, you want all the letters to work together as a whole. So while we're going through each letter separately, it's when you put them together to create words that you have to look at it and create the balance that you would like. But for now, we're just focused on single letters. Later in the book, there will be a section on how to combine your letters to create the whole image instead of just the part, which in this case is the single letter. Well, I guess that's enough for the letter A. I wanted to briefly show you the next 2 pages so you will be able to see some of the differences. Okay, on to the letter B. This letter is both masculine and feminine. And if you will look at the vertical section, you will notice that it is considerably different than the letter A page. Here I still have the same basics, the letter that I created, and below that the typical font and what type of letter it is, and in this case it's feminine and masculine. But directly below that you'll see something that says mini lesson that will help you create your letters. And in this case I have 2 little letter B's, and I ask which one looks more balanced. It's the one on the left, and it is because there's an extra vertical bar on the left side which makes the overall vertical wider, so it is closer to the same width as the letters on the right side, so that helps it have more balance. Also, it takes up more space connecting the 2 little swirly tips, which makes that part look more balanced as well. So the one section on the left has better balance and the overall B has better balance. And then at the bottom I have another tip that says let your imagination be your guide, and I truly mean that. Let your imagination lead the way. What I have are suggestions only and to help teach you how to form letters. Your imagination will be your very best guide and will help you create something that you're truly happy with. Now it might be worth noting, even though you probably already understand this, just in case somebody doesn't, that it's on the bottom section that I separate out the B. That is because it is both feminine and masculine. So whichever letter I've created, I will put it in the corresponding row. I just thought I'd mention that to make for sure there's no confusion. That's all there is for today on the letters chapter of Drawing Dangles Demystified. There is so much more I want to say and teach, but I suppose I should leave some for the book and future videos. I really hope you enjoyed this video and learned a lot and have a good understanding of this chapter of the book. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and leave any comments or questions that you have, and I'll be happy to answer them. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon. Bye.